Hey guys, Radical Reggie here, and I am excited to do a review on Gunstar Super Heroes. Gunstar Super Heroes is a sequel to Gunstar Heroes on the Sega Genesis system. Golly, what can I say about this game? This is probably one of the best running guns out there. So much innovation in the game, charisma, story mode, boss battles. It just has everything in the kitchen sink. It actually won Editor's Choice Award at E3 in 2005, if I remember correctly. And it's like, gosh, there's just so much to say about this game. I don't even know if I'll be able to talk about it all in this review, but I will try. Let's take a look. I actually have something to confess to you guys. I actually played the sequel, Gunstar Super Heroes, which I'm reviewing now, before I actually played Gunstar Heroes on the Genesis. I think it was back in 2005, this game had gotten an award that I saw for E3, so I started to take a look at it. I bought it, and I was like truly amazed. I mean, first of all, which is cool, a lot of games don't even do this. It's actual, it shows the events of the previous game into this game, and so that way you know what happens in the first game, like with the story mode and everything like that. But for a Game Boy Advance game, I mean, the graphics are subpar. I mean, gosh, I always thought of the Game Boy Advance as a sequel to the Super Nintendo system. So, you know, I just fell in love with the graphics. You know, great 2D sprites, fast-paced action. The Genesis version was really fast-paced. I'm not sure if the Super Nintendo version could handle that fast-paced. Maybe it could. Who knows? But either way, I mean, this game is fast. The only downfall that I could think of right now is actually the game is not 2 players like the Genesis version. But hey, maybe you don't need 2 players on the Game Boy Advance. I mean, who wants to be linked up with that crazy cable? I mean, like if somebody pulls too hard, game over. So, or link lost. So anyways, the game is really explosive. Lots of arcade action, great boss battles. Level design is really well done as well. I mean, the levels actually change up. They're usually divided up in like, I would say like 3 to 5 sections as you go through. And, it really changes things up, so things always really feel fresh. The music, on the other hand, is really outstanding as well. I mean, I know this game definitely has a soundtrack out there because the music is just so well done. It's just how you remember those 16-bit games from back in the day that had really good soundtracks. I mean, this one is just something like, wow, you can always go back and listen to. And actually, I looked around and people have redone the music on this game. Like they've actually like done remixes and stuff like that. So that's really cool to listen to. So before I forget, I got to go into the basics of the game. So basically, it's a running gun shooter, and you get three attacks that you can switch between, and also you get melee attacks. If you tap the B button gently, you'll do a melee attack. Now you can do this on the ground and in the air. If you jump in the air, you can push. You can jump in the air and push up with the jump button again, and you'll do an uppercut. Do the opposite and go down. You can do a drop kick, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, I also forgot, if you run straight and you push the jump button twice, you'll do a straight jump kick, which is very helpful for bosses. One thing that these games are known for are the really cool boss battles. I mean, boss battles are just pretty insane. They're a lot of fun. They're not too hard to do, but they're mostly really fun. And towards the end of the game, you'll go through what a lot of people hate. It's called the gauntlet, which is pretty much you fight all the bosses from the beginning of the game over again. With enhancements, sometimes they change it up a little bit, so that's pretty cool. So in this game, you'll have the choice between playing easy, normal, and hard. Now, if you want the true ending of the game, you get to play on hard. If you want a decent ending, you want to play on normal. You play on easy, you'll get an ending, but I'm not going to spoil it. Well, I guess I'm not going to spoil it, but let's just say a certain character might not make it, but you don't know who it is, so not a spoiler. But anyways, it's kind of cool to change up the variations. So if you want to see a certain ending, or if you prefer a certain ending, it's cool. But bosses change depending on the difficulty, the end boss, depending on the difficulty you choose. Good news for you guys as well is this game is fairly cheap. You can get the cart for it for around $8 to $10 in box. It used to be around $20 around about a year ago, but who knows? People caught on to it and they're trying to raise the price. I think the most you can find it in boxes, hopefully, gosh, you know, I hate to say prices, but you know, let's just say slightly above 20, but I could be wrong. You know, check for yourself. So you actually get to choose between two characters, red and blue. Blue is my favorite, so you see the most majority of this playthrough. I'm playing with him. Red is cool too. She has different, a couple of different weapons. So you get by picking a different character, you get the different variations. They're actually different from each other. They're not like different by default, like sex or something like that. But I know this is a running gun game, but it actually has a really good story to it. If you pay attention to the story scenes, the story was really intriguing. I was surprised. First time I played this game, I beat it on easy. Then I saw the ending. Then I decided to beat it on hard. And it's not really that much harder. It's just that you don't get as many health items, which is still fine. I mean, if you learn how to utilize the game, I mean, all the moves. You could tear this game apart. If you tap the R button, you also do a super special move in each weapon, which is cool when your super meter is charged up. All right, guys, so that's my review of Gunstar Super Heroes for the Game Boy Advance. Gosh, I mean, this game is, whew. I mean, playing it on the Game Boy Advance is great as well, but if you play it on like a Game Boy player or even a Retron 5, I mean, it looks so much better. It plays even more smoother than it is on the Game Boy Advance. Totally a game you want to have in your collection. It's still very cheap. It's like a $10, $15 game if it's just a cart only. Possibly, if you can find a good deal, you can probably find it for the same price, complete in box. It's just one of those games like, wow, dude, you would want Treasure to do another sequel for it, but you know how Treasure is. They don't like doing sequels, which is a shame. That's okay. The only downfall of this game, I would say, is that it's only one player on the Game Boy Advance version. So, and that's fine. Usually when you're playing portable games, you're not really looking for you're not looking for that two-player compatibility because it's kind of uncommon for the Game Boy Advance unless you're just sitting down somewhere and have a cord or whatever. Hey, I'm not gonna go into all that. Anyways, worth getting, yes. Pick it up immediately, and that's gonna do it for this review. So I will see you guys later.